Hello, friends, and a beautiful Thursday evening to you all. I'm happy to be going over this passage with you, even as late as it is. And so we'll just dive right into this. This is John chapter 12. Um, and John has such an interesting view of Jesus. As he reflected on Jesus' life, he saw these ideas emerge that Jesus was not. Was not doing anything by accident. And so the ways in which he describes Jesus' life point to this intention that from the very beginning, Jesus had a plan. Jesus and the Father had a plan. And this is really important because there are people today who believe that Jesus' death on the cross was an accident. And they see that as sort of an unfortunate thing that happened, but not something that was necessary. And that is not how the Bible portrays it. And this passage is an example of that. Jesus says this very clearly. He says, "What shall I say, Father, save me from this hour? No, it is for this hour that I have come. Father, glorify your name." And this is such a beautiful thing to say because it encapsulates Jesus' way of being. One, it's this purpose that he knows this is why I'm here. Everything that I've been doing has been leading up to this moment, to this hour. He has a very clear purpose and a mission, and he lives for that purpose and that mission. Two, it shows his unique heart. The Apostle Paul later writes, reflecting on this, and he says, if someone was really good, maybe someone would be willing to die on their behalf. But Jesus did the unthinkable. While we were still sinners, he died for us. While we were his enemies, opposed to him, just stubbornly resistant to everything God wanted to do, he died for us. And that is what is unique about Jesus, that his sacrifice was entirely willing. There was no coercion from the Father. It was entirely willing. And it was for those who hated him, for those who would reject him, for those who even afterwards, after the message was shared, after they had heard it 10, 20, 30, 1,000 years later, even for them, he died. Later on, Peter will write about these false teachers who are infiltrating the church, who are plaguing people and teaching false doctrines. And he'll say this, that they reject the one who bought them. That is, even those who are in here hurting his church, for them, Jesus died. And they reject it. It's a powerful, powerful thing when you realize that he died for those who were his enemies, who hated him, and still he loved them. And the last thing we see here about the way of Jesus is that his life was focused on this union with the Father. That even when he's about to experience unbelievable pain, rejection, abandonment, he says, "Father, glorify your name." That's what matters to him. That the Father receives the glory. Paul says it this way in the book of Philippians chapter 2. "Have this mind in you which was in Christ." Think the same way Christ did. Though Christ was completely God, in very nature, to the core of his being, he was God. He didn't consider that something to cling to, but he let it go. He emptied himself. He humbled himself and took on the form of a slave. And he humbled himself to death, even death on a cross. What a beautiful thing. So friends, our call, the call that Jesus gives in this very passage, is to be like him. He says, "Those who are my followers will be with me. They will come after me. They will give up their life and they will be like me. But those who try to save their life will lose it." We are called to be like Jesus, to love those who seem unlovable, to love those who oppose us, who are against us, even them. We're called to be like Jesus, to know the purpose for which we were created and to go for it, to do it. We are called to be like Jesus, to glorify the Father. So friends, I hope that this week you will have a chance to be like Jesus. Go in peace.